you gotta wrap your mind around because it is, well, it's epic, okay? And we were just talking in the break, and I'm not sure, you know how Tyler Perry has some of these crazy plot lines. Don't ever criticize him again. What we're talking about here is Diamond of Diamond and Silk had a MAGA dumpster fire funeral. When we tell you it was epic, folks, buckle up and listen to this.
Trump, that was her boyfriend, okay? Did you know that? That was her boyfriend. And then her little sidekick, Silk said, I think y'all call it sidekick, side piece, whatever, Mike Lindell.
And even now, she's looking down, and I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, Diamond is talking to Jesus, and she is saying, Jesus, please make sure that Donald J. Trump is the next president of the United States of America. Somebody better get up.
And, the world has lost one of its brightest stars, real star, but I see that we have another star who is equal to, but she stepped up and she is different. I'm serious. I thought I knew them both. I didn't. I knew Diamond, but I didn't know Silk at all. I just learned about Silk.
This happened, and it wasn't a comedy produced, again, by Tyler Perry, hugely successful. Not the Wayans brothers. Somebody put this together, folks. Okay, and you heard the reference there. Donald Trump, the boyfriend, the pillow guy, the side piece. Is this the homegoing that she wanted? According to those in attendance, the statement made by Trump was taken out of context. Here we go again with this one. GOP leader was complimenting Silk's eulogy, which was filled with idioms, buzzwords, echoes of his own political jargon. Trump said he was surprised because Silk Richardson has always appeared to be the quieter sister. I thought you were the quiet one, Trump said. I said Silk is really smart, but she's very quiet. She's not quiet. So what you're saying, Donald Trump, is you didn't really even prepare any remarks for this, did you? You just did, once again, seat of your pants nonsense. Okay, perhaps she outlined this homegoing service, we don't know. Diamond and Silk were sisters. They joined the Trump campaign in 2016, where they were paid. You ready for this? Okay, this is what they were paid for all of this. $1,274.94. What did they get that money for? Field consulting. After speaking at a North Carolina rally ahead of the election, the Trump campaign FEC expenditures cited the women were welcome to the White House, where Trump embraced them both. Boyfriend, okay. Silk explains how Diamond passed away. Her sister, Rochelle Silk Richardson, said she was shocked after her sister's death at their North Carolina home. They had just returned home from a brother's birthday party and were discussing ideas for an upcoming project and their current show. Richardson said she left the room for a few minutes and returned to her sister looking strange. That from Atlanta Black Star. Lynnette Diamond Hardaway ended a phone conversation with their younger sister and told her older sister Richardson she couldn't breathe. I got her to the kitchen table. I opened the back door so she could get some air, Richardson recalled. And each breath was less and less and less until her eyes became a stare. Richardson and her husband performed CPR until the instruction of a 911 dispatcher, but they could not revive Hardaway, and neither could the emergency personnel who arrived at their home. Richardson somehow tied the death into politics, immediately segueing into claims that the pair were conspiracy theorists. Don't you dare call me a conspiracy theorist because I saw it happen. I saw how it happened. I was there when it happened, and it happened suddenly. Richardson referring back to an earlier part in her speech where she said more attention needs to be drawn to sudden adult death syndrome. I want America to wake up and pay attention. Something ain't right. Time to investigate what's really going on here and get some answers to why are people falling dead suddenly, she added. There was also public speculation that Hardaway died because of COVID-19 complications, which her sister has vehemently denied. During the speech, Richardson said her sister's spirit told her to say she was an anti-vaxxer, but was not rather an anti-vaxxer, but was anti-mandates. There's a difference. She also channeled through her a message about the 2020 election being stolen and pointless mask mandates. She channeled a lot, Mayor. She channeled a lot. Your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, why is your spirit saying the same dumb stuff your sister said when she was alive? I mean, your sister's spirit. Let's be honest. The contradictions in this speech were blaring. First of all, how many people died by listening to these people when they were on Fox News and they had their show on the Pillow Guys news network, telling people not to get vaccinated? But apparently, she died from. Her sister said she died because of she got the vaccine. Thought she wasn't vaccinated. Now all of a sudden she's not anti-vaccination. Now she's anti-mandate. The idea that people are listening to these people and taking this as political fodder is unbelievable to me. Furthermore, the shenanigans at this funeral was disgusting. From Trump, from some white woman referring to a black woman as the mistress of two white men, both who are married, is absolutely disgusting.
Know your history.
Them being in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where one of the largest plantations in North Carolina, where undoubtedly raping of black women was sport for white men, not even 200 years ago. The shenanigans that took place at this funeral was absolutely disgusting. Even if this is what her sister, if this is what Diamond wanted, this was nothing but a bag of coal. There was nothing shining about this. So Donald Trump's idea that we lost a star is absolutely incorrect. There was not a star loss. There was a life loss, but that life probably was lost due to complications of a vaccine. Of a sickness that they spread so many lies about. So much so that Fox News kicked them off TV, and we know ain't no truth over there. So this funeral was disgusting for so many reasons. And then of course, them charging people to come in. You had to pay to get in this funeral. And then Donald Trump spending an hour plus talking about himself and his presidential election for his third term or third time running for president seems to be par for the course, where he maybe it was a Floridian slip when he said he didn't know silk. But I can tell you something that's not a slip. He does not care about Diamond or silk. This is
that part.
J. Trump and Donald J. Trump's legacy, period.
That part, Mayor, because at funerals, a lot of time people done fell out. You know, they're overcome with grief. The spirit moves them, they done fell out. In this case, who done threw up, okay? This was absolutely disgusting, okay? And I'm just so curious because I've heard that when you're at death's door, the nonsense stops. There must be one moment of clarity, Mayor. Just one here. The women were paid $1,274 and I believe 94 cents to go on this platform after platform, and there's a word for it, I won't use it, but they sold their souls for $1,274.94. Why did they do it? Because it wasn't for the money. Do you know these people? Why did they do it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's this syndrome, Stockholm syndrome is what they call it. And then there's also those, house Negroes is what we refer to it as. Those who were so close to whiteness, they would be willing to snitch or tell about a rebellion that was gonna happen or groups of slaves running away, right? This is no different than that. They fall into that category. So the tragic part about this is you have a black preacher taking one of the oldest and most successful black institutions in this country, start this funeral out talking about this woman who had just passed is at the pearly gates talking to Jesus about Donald Trump's reelection. The idea that you, as a preacher, you cannot believe that her concerns when she got to heaven was Donald Trump's being reelected. So you're up there lying in the name of black church. You're making a mockery. And it's also the reason why the Black church has less grasp on our community and less influence than it ever has. It's because preachers that show up like this. This is absolutely disgusting to a legacy of a person who W. Du Bois said in 1913 when he wrote The Souls of Black Folk, that the Black preacher was a mystic, a political leader, an influencer, everything to our community. And yet and still we have this guy who's tap dancing, we'll say that, and something else, instead of calling something else. Tap dancing for these white folk, trying to become Donald Trump's black minister, which is
that part. I hate the term, but you're right when you uttered it about a minute ago, Mayor, that you care so much about validation and acceptance from this tragic white figure. It's very tragic, very is.